Well, hello there. My name is Freya, and today I'm going to tell you another story about Tiny the Ferret. So if you're sitting comfortably with your blanket all tucked in, your favourite toy beside you, then the story will begin. Chapter 1. Tiny is a ferret, a very loving pet, adored by all his family and everyone he met. Tiny is quite famous from his escapade before. Never one to miss a chance, he'd exit any door. He'd packed his little rucksack with chicken on the bone, 'cause hunger always strikes when you're far away from home. The fields behind his house seemed like the place to go. Where this route would take him, well, he really didn't know. He came across a badger, so Tiny stopped to play. The badger, having none of it, sent him on his way. Arriving at the railway line, he was wary of the track. Deciding he would venture on, there was no turning back. Chapter 2. At Kilgetty Common, he went across the moor. The mudland and the marshes were great fun to explore. Rolling in the mud was a pleasure to be had. If something felt so very good, then how could it be bad? Swimming in the marshes, Tiny felt so bold. His little legs kept going until it got too cold. Shaking off the water before heading on his way, he struggled with distractions. He was always led astray. Chapter 3. When Tiny reached the roundabout, he crossed the busy road. Alas, this little ferret did not know the highway code. When he saw the Shire horse, he thought he'd have a chat. He was a friendly ferret, you have to give him that. So where is good to go when you're young and wild and free? The horse had no idea. He was tethered to a tree.
Up ahead is Folly Farm. It's not a place for you. You'll be the main attraction in the children's petting zoo.
Tiny didn't fancy this, but thanked him all the same. He turned his tail and disappeared, right back the way he came. Chapter 4. All along the bypass, he kept out of the light. Ferrets seemed to sleep all day and come alive at night. He snuck down into Stepaside and crept between the trees. The night was getting colder. He hoped it wouldn't freeze. When Tiny saw an owl swooping overhead, he quickly ran for cover and hid inside a shed. Chapter 5. Now down in Pleasant Valley is where the fun begins. Here lives a little family, Dylan and the twins. Dylan drew the short straw. He had to take a turn to go down to the woodshed and get some logs to burn. He quickly caught a movement from the corner of his eye. He saw a little ferret hanging out to dry. Now Dylan knew this ferret. He'd seen the Facebook page. He managed to get hold of him and put him in a cage. Chapter 6. On the phone to Nicky. Tiny's in our shed. Nicky wasn't happy. They got her out of bed. The family couldn't believe he'd gone so very far. Dressed in their pyjamas, they all piled in the car. Dylan's little sisters were really quite upset. They thought the tiny ferret was meant to be their pet. Their bottom lips were trembling. They both began to cry. Their tears were overflowing as they kissed their pet goodbye. Chapter 7. They could not quite believe that the ferret had been found, but there he was back in his bed, tucked up safe and sound. If they fit him with a tracker or a harness on GoPro, if spotted in your garden, be sure to let us know. Or if you see the ferret heading into town, the use of social media will help us track him down. The end. I've been Freya. Thank you for watching. See you for the next episode.